the couch. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up next, we've got what should be a good one between the Denver Broncos and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. For Sutton, the receiving numbers from last week's game. 6 catches, 116 yards.
5th in the league in receiving yards, and that's a strong category. I mean, if you're in the top 5 in anything, I don't care whether it's football or tiddlywinks, you're having a nice season.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Bridgewater got a man open, it's Sutton. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The sack by T.J. Watt, or as his mother Connie calls him, Trent Jordan Watt. And that sack certainly just strengthening his candidacy for Defensive Player of the Year. You think he's got that one in the bag yet?
I'm not willing to vote quite yet just because I want to wait till the season's over, but he is really tracking towards it. Just look at all the great plays we've seen from him throughout the season. Strength plays that you referenced there, as well as agility plays. They just have not found a way to block him consistently. But that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath by all means.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. First carry for James Conner, and he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
On 2nd and 11 now. Roethlisberger looking middle, and it's incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. 3rd down here.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
Now, I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And he's going to be taken down about a yard shy of the 1st at the 29. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They're going to run. Here's Connor. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it paid. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy. And the best receivers I've talked with, they know that stat, and it drives them crazy because they understand that without a quarterback, they don't make the plays that they make. They also don't feel like they get enough credit for bailing out some of the throws the quarterbacks make. Absolutely. Takes two to tango. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Roethlisberger. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 24-yard line. They're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far. And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off. First carry of the game here for Royce Freeman. And from the 15, they're able to work this up to the 20 for a pickup of a handful. Now a look at the defensive starters here for the Steelers. They were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland. They held them to just 7 points, and in reviewing the game tape, I'm wondering how they got the 7. I actually wrote a note to myself. How did they even score? The way they were playing, absolutely dominating on their side of the ball. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total. He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. Here's Switzer. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. So with the Steeler offense on their way out, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. As we count down through the final few weeks of the season, these guys have nothing to sweat about. They've clinched the top spots in the road to the Super Bowl. It runs through them. And there's a natural inclination here, partner, to say, okay, a lot of guys aren't going to play down the stretch. We've clinched. We're ready to go. But there's another part where you say, let's show the league why we're the #1 team. Maybe you intimidate someone. Maybe you dissuade them from thinking that they can beat you in the playoffs by going out and being really impressive down the stretch. Absolutely. And you want to take momentum into the playoffs. There's also pride on the line for these guys individually. Yeah, momentum and pride. Yeah, I'd make room for them and put them both in uniform.
White 80. 48 right now. Let's go. I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over.
On 2nd down, it's Connor. Powers through again. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions,
I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Roethlisberger will stay out there, and they're going to go for it on fourth.
I can't believe they even let you play.
They'll try and throw for him with Roethlisberger. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Here we go, D. Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. His throw incomplete. Receiver out of the backfield was Jalen Samuels. And it's second down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
On second down, Connor looking for space. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
On second and 10, Roethlisberger, and he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Juju Smith-Schuster with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon.
Partner, remember that old film of Peyton Manning going through the route tree with his great receivers in Indianapolis? I think we're seeing the results of the same type of work here today. These guys know each other so well, they don't even have to call the play. They can just look each other and know the route that's going to be run, and usually the connection is perfect.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he'll put it through to make it 7-0 Steelers. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Get ready.
And Denver getting set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his third sack of the afternoon.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Another try after the first down sack. Bridgewater. He was trying to find Noah Fant, the tight end, and it's third down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
That one into the hands of Hamilton. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They'll wind up with 17 on that one, but they're still a bit short here for fourth.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in fourth and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time to even think about, hey, are we going to milk the clock? Hey, are we just going to do ball control? This is the NFL. 7-0 leads, they don't last very long unless you continue to push the envelope on offense.
They start to drive with Connor. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stop that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On second and 11 now. Roethlisberger. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Play fake to Connor. Now Roethlisberger. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. 6-yard return after a punt of 48. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Play action now. Bridgewater. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Switzer on the return. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Juju Smith-Schuster and the rest of this offense heading back out there. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally, he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that, too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise, he can really decimate him.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into territory. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
I'm going back to you. I'm going back to you.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey,
Here we go.
these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on third down. Thought they were going to force a fourth down. Instead, P.I. gives them the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10, right back to Connor here on first. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 7, Roethlisberger. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is third down. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And he'll be stopped shy of the 15 at the 14-yard line on the return.
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively. And you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. A first down throw for Bridgewater. He's got this complete to Hamilton. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. A 4-receiver look here. 3 out to the left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 8. Here's Bridgewater. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. They'll throw again. Bridgewater. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Cameron Johnston now. He's been terrific so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it.
Come on, fellas.
So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. And it's the Browns who are out on top. Taywan Taylor, a touchdown reception. From there, we head up to the Motor City to check in on the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they've got the lead in that one over the visiting Atlanta Falcons. Matthew Stafford has thrown a touchdown pass. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore and check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they were winners as they defeat the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Willie Snead, well over 100 yards receiving with 3 touchdown catches. Meanwhile, in our game, just the lone touchdown accounting for all the scoring. A tight one, 7-0 is the score. And for the call of the second half, we send it back to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Here comes Ben Roethlisberger and the Steeler offense back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, well, get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Here's Roethlisberger. That went into the hands of his tailback, Samuels. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play, now 2nd and 13. Roethlisberger will throw. Washington's got it. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
Would have been a decently long field goal, 51 yards from here, but instead they're going to go for it. They'll run for it with Connor. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. It'll be a gain of 17 and a Pittsburgh first. 4th down conversions this drive, now 3 for 3.
I'd love to get a look at his play chart right now because he obviously has confidence in everything he has written down in terms of short yardage and going for it on 4th down.
From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on first down. He'll get that one complete to Connor. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll make it 2nd down. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident and keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
On 2nd down now, it's Connor. And here he'll get it down to the 7. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Quit talking about it and wing it.
Here's Roethlisberger. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. but I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and that'll make the score 14-0. That time, a 9-play drive, and it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Time to take a glance into what we've seen so far from Teddy Bridgewater. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half. But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They'll go again with Lindsey. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
And how about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
Keep playing.
Here's James Conner now as he trots back onto the field. And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Roethlisberger to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now it's Roethlisberger. Open man here is Gentry.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. To throw again is Roethlisberger. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The former first-round pick Kareem Jackson there defensively. I think you'd have to say defensively, these guys are doing their job pretty well, right?
Yeah, we talked about them holding them under 20 points, right, on defense. And they've done that. They've held them. The problem is their own offense hasn't answered their challenge, which was to score more.
Yeah, exactly. I remember you saying magic number was right around 20, and the offense has been the issue. You're right. Defensively, they rallied the troops to force fourth down after that 7-yard pickup back on first. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
This is Johnson. He's got it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down. Fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked in the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
He'll get the first down and more inside the 20, and down to the 19-yard line. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first. On first and 10 is Connor. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
They're not ready for this. They still play. These two. Y'all playing.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Now keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
2nd and goal from the 1. They'll try to run it. This is Connor, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running. Third down. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. James Washington, touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. And what a drive that was. 16 plays all told. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Hey, come on,
Bridgewater. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Bridgewater again. This one complete to the running back, Lindsey. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos first down. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this.
Oh, now Lindsey lost the football, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And he's able to bring it up 5 yards shy of midfield to the 45-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. They begin on the ground here with Connor. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
From just shy of midfield, Roethlisberger escaping the pressure right. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. Now they got to get to the line quickly. To throw again on 2nd down. Bridgewater. And, boy, that one drops incomplete, but if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it prior to what will be an important 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Now Bridgewater on 4th down. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Terrell Edmonds comes flying in from safety for the sack. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
On first down. Connor. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Derek Wolfe there on the tackle.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on first and goal. Roethlisberger going to throw it. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. James Washington with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Extra point now by Boswell. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room and get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coach say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit. No matter what the battle is, we're going to finish this thing out.
Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds left to play.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there,
Bridgewater now from the 50. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. T.J. Watt in there to make the sack on what will be the final act in this ball game. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for Pittsburgh, they're now a win away from a perfect regular season as they move to 15-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Tennessee Titans. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, their playoff hopes take a big hit as they fall to 8-7. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.